Hi Gemini, welcome back to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. This Gemini is your general bi-weekly reading for the time between the 20th of February and the 5th of March. I'm going to draw 6 cards in the first instance. The first 3 cards are going to relate to the last week in February and the second 3 cards are going to relate to this first week in March. I've already shuffled and meditated before I started filming. I'll do a little bit more of that on camera and then we'll get started with your reading. I know I said 6 cards, but let me just organise these because some of these are clarifiers. I think that goes there, but not sure. Okay, my darlings. So, Gemini. Welcome, Gemini. This is your reading. If you're new to my channel, these are your clarifying cards. I will know when they are ready to be join the reading. There's a clarifier there as well, and this is the card at the base of your reading. Now I always deal the cards face down, not for suspense, just because I pick up on a lot of energies and it just to stop me from being distracted by the cards. Okay, now the card at the base of your reading is the Temperance energy. This the card at the base of the reading really signifies the perspective, the lesson, or the overall energy for you over this time period. And for you guys, this is Temperance. Okay, so this is a card about patience, about healing, and about mindfulness. Those people that watch my other videos, you'll have seen the video about temperance. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen the post I've done about temperance. Obviously it's still there, you can check that out if you've not seen it already. Temperance energy really for me epitomizes mindfulness. It's about being present, being aware of what you're experiencing currently. That is about patience. It's about being truthful with, it's about being aware of where you're at, about what you're going through, about what you're experiencing is temperance in a nutshell. And so really for you, over this next couple of weeks, you need to take that advice and that perspective of, am I present? Am I here? Am I mindful? And this is in itself the energy of healing. Okay, so Gemini, let's have a look at the first card. The first card is first card for you guys for February is the 7 of Cups. This energy really feels very similar to me to Mercury retrograde. It has many layers of meaning, but you know, ultimately it's a number 7. Number 7s are challenges that we must endure in order to overcome. In a nutshell, the Cups energy is about our emotions and our intuitions, our emotional processes. Okay, and this is ultimately a card of the motivations behind your decisions. You know, what motivates you to make the choices that you make. You need to be taking into account of your emotions, and sometimes they can be clouded. It can be hard for us to grasp the things that we want or the things that we're trying to decide because we are potentially overwhelmed with emotion. You're an earth sign, so you're driven really by logic, by clarity, and this is really, you might find this uncomfortable. We've just come out of Aquarius season, and we're entering now into Pisces season. So you've come out of where you feel comfortable, which is, as I said, the mental processes. Tiny's on my knee, by the way. You've come out of the mental processes, and you've got now a sort of a meeting point, really, of that, of the energy that you're comfortable with, and the energy of the emotions, the deep emotions. Taurus. Pisces is about deep emotions, and it means as well sometimes the things that we used to rely on to help us to make our decisions, the things that the way that you used to be, the way that you used to think, the way that you used to feel is different now, and you are very struggling to navigate this difference, this change. So it could be that when the full moon hit us a couple of days ago, that you have started, so this week you're in that position, that situation of maybe confusion. Now this is your energy, okay? This is the Lover's card, this is your energy, and it's a lovely card, and it's really a card of balance. It's really a card of the two sides of you. Now on this card here, those two sides of us, of the self, are represented by Adam and Eve, okay? And you can say that Adam and Eve is yin and yang, and you can say that that's masculine and feminine, that is action, external experiences, the things that happen to us, the things that happen and we experience in our lives. That would be Adam, the masculine. And the feminine is Eve. The feminine is the emotions, so how we emotionally respond to our experiences, what we learn spiritually because of the experiences that we have externally. And it's about recognizing that both of those aspects of yourself are as important as each other. When we recognize that, it brings about that balance, that harmony. It brings about that equilibrium that we try so hard to achieve. Number 6 is also the number of beauty, which is about the recognition of the appreciation of the things that we've been through, the things that we've experienced. So this really is about relying on your nature. Before we look at love, relying on your nature, relying on, the wisdom that you have always had in order to make the decisions that are confusing you or challenging you over this next week or so. This could also be, for some of you, I'm doing your love readings next week, so I'm not going to labour the point, but obviously clearly this could also be related to love, a love relationship, a love situation, a situation that has maybe been stagnant for some time, a situation that's called for you to be patient with the Temperance energy. It seems that a choice might need to be made. You might need to make a choice between staying or going, or taking somebody back, or this person and that person. Whatever it is for you as an individual, you'll know there seems to be some sort of confusion with the choices that you need to make. You need to be able to listen to yourself, to listen to your soul, to listen to the truth of who you are in order to make the decision. And the universe is saying that with the Lover's card showing here, you have that in your locker. You have that. Don't forget, just because we're in Pisces season and we're in Mercury retrograde and everything's sort of confusing or potentially, doesn't mean that you have lost all your wisdom, okay? It's still there. So try to be mindful, try to be reflective, try to meditate, and try to connect with yourself, your inner strength, okay? So the next card out is the Knight of Swords. I'll relate this to love in a second, but this is the energy of the sword. So it's your energy, actually. This is you, actually, isn't it? Sorry. Yeah, sword energy. Our thoughts, our minds, our clarity, our consciousness, our communication, what we say, what we think, what we allow ourselves to say, what we allow ourselves to think. That's the energy of the sword, okay? And the Knight of Swords is moving. It's energy that's... This is like coming up with lots of ideas, for example, coming up with, wanting to try things, some different options and different avenues out. This is saying what you've held in, you know, for so long. You're just going to blurt it out. It can be any and all of those things, you know, but it's forthright, which means it's gonna come up against people. It's gonna come towards people. It wants to speak, you know, it wants to speak the truth, even if we're not clear yet. This is what I think, and I think this, you know, I was hurt because you did this, but you also hurt me because you did that, and you know, to fix this we're going to have to do this, and we're also going to have to do that. This is that type of energy. You're not wrong in what you're saying. It's just that it can be quite momentous, this energy. You can get carried away with your clarity, the bit of clarity that you do have. You can get carried away with it. Let's have a look at this card here. So we've got the 10. This is clarifying this. So it looks like then there is an end to a situation, and I feel like it could be love, but it could just be life in general. There's a choice that you are trying to make, or there's a new, it's like there's a new sense of self, but there's confusion here with it. There's sort of, in a way on your part, a lack of clarity, a lack of understanding. You're not sure almost which way to go, but you want to go. You're not sure what you want to say, but you want to speak. And you're being reminded to be, with Temperance here, you're being reminded to be aware of your motivations, be aware of why you want to speak, be aware of why you want to make this choice, or what choice you're trying to make. And again, the 10 of Swords suggests that this has been something that's been ongoing. So it might have been a relationship that's been on the rocks, or you've been trying to work out employment, you know, and you keep getting turned away from employment, and then you get angry at the next person that tells you, sorry, no, we don't, you not got the job. You might say, oh, why have I not got it? It can be, but it's because it's a long time coming, you know, it's a long time coming when we see this 10 of Swords. You know, this is an opportunity though to change. This is an opportunity for healing with the 10 of Swords. It's an opportunity for new energy to come in, for you to start gaining some clarity. You've been confused about something though. You've been uncertain about something, clouded. Your energy, actually, the energy of this reading is very, you've been in your own head. You've been in your own head, Gemini. You've been thinking and overthinking and about a decision that you're trying to make. You're trying to make a decision. You're trying to not only make a decision, but change something in your life. And you have literally been thinking about this for the past 8 weeks. You know, you've been going over it and thinking about it and ruminating about it. This is this type of energy. And suddenly, now coming through, you're like, okay, finally, I've got something. I've got something that I can say, so I'm going to say it. I've got something that I can do, even if it's not everything, and I'm going to do it, because you're sick of being in this sort of energy where you've been thinking about this and ruminating and trying to come to a conclusion and trying to work it out and weigh it. You're sick of being there now. You're like, do you know what? I'm going, I'm moving, I'm ready, I'm on it. And even though you don't have it all, you don't have all the answers, you don't have all the answers, you don't have all the you don't know what's going to happen as an outcome, you're still ready to do something. And interestingly, we've got Eve is here, and she's feminine, about the inner wisdom. This is Cups, which is it's related. The Cups is feminine energy. It's related to our inner wisdom, our intuition, our emotions. And this is Adam. He's a man. He's masculine. It's about our actions. And this is, and on this side, we've got the masculine cards. We've got the masculine energies, okay? So it's as if there's again, it brings confusion when we're up against each other, when we try to apply logic to decisions that actually our hearts should be making. And there are decisions that our hearts should be making, our souls should be making. And it's about recognizing there's actually a balance between these two things. They're both important, and it's hard for you because you don't usually take into account the emotion side of it, whether it feels good, whether it feels right. And actually now you're being encouraged by the universe, because of the astrology of now, you're being encouraged to take into account your feelings, your emotions, and that is something that leaves you feeling a little bit disorientated, okay? But again, the perspective is of temperance. Be mindful, be present, be truthful with what you're fully experiencing, not just in your thoughts, in your head, but also emotionally, internally, okay? So we're moving now to this card, and I do feel like these two cards are related to this card, so let's have a look. This is as we go into March, okay? So by next week, you're going to be feeling far more grounded, okay? We are, this is the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. It's Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy. I'm a Capricorn actually, and the Queen of Pentacles and the earth signs are about nurturing. They're about the effort that we put in, the energy that we put in order to have the stability and the type of security in the life that we want, in a practical sense. So we work hard so that we can have a good job and all that stuff, and this is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen, again, it's about the inner wisdom. It's about understanding what is within. So this is about understanding where you want to focus your energies, what you're trying to create. This is about understanding that, understanding where you want to focus. Now, it's hard. I'm finding this reading very difficult. I'm finding it like my brain is like blocked, is like clouded, and I'm picking up on your energy. I've not been feeling like that all day, and suddenly that is how I'm feeling when I just pick up your cards and do your reading. There's confusion here, and it's very heavy. You've been stuck, you've been like in this. You need to get out of your own head. Get out of your own head, Gemini, because I tell you what, it's hard to do your readings. But no, you need to get out of your own head, because it's like you can't even at the moment see, you don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, this is making no sense to you because you're like somewhere else. You're somewhere else at the moment. Like you're in a different place. You like interact. You're going to work. You're living your life, but your mind is somewhere else, and you don't really know where your mind is, and you don't know why your mind is there, but you feel disorientated at the moment. Right now, you feel disorientated, and you feel like almost bogged down by the weight. It's like you're worried about something, but you don't know what you're worried about. You're anxious about something. Something's not right, but you don't know what it is. You don't know what's not right, but something's not. You just have this, and that's that type of energy of the cups. You can't. You have to invest. You have to stay with it in order to sort of understand it. But you're coming into March. You're becoming more grounded. So you're starting to see and gain that clarity of, this is what's not right. This is what's not being right. I need to focus on this. I need to improve this. This is what I need to do. And once you get that clarity come through by next week, you'll be so much more happier and clearer in your mind. But yeah, you've been thinking about something, ruminating on something for so long. 8 weeks came to mind for some reason, but you've been ruminating for so long. We're going to look at these two cards with this here. Oh, thank God for that. I needed to see this, to be honest, because my brain... this is your clarity coming through. This is the Sun card. And obviously, it's a happy card. It's the happiest card in the deck. It's related to your solar plexus, the third chakra, which is all about self-expression, which is all about expansion. Expansion is about sharing you, the authentic you, with the world regardless of what anyone else says or anyone else thinks or anyone else's judgment. This is who I am. I'm here. And it's also awareness and clarity. So it's saying that by next week, like I've just said anyway, that clarity is going to start coming through. You're going to be feeling more grounded in what you're trying to achieve, in where you need to put your energy, in where you need to apply your efforts. You're going to be feeling so much more grounded and so much more clear about the step forward that you need to take. It seems like actually quite a spiritual reading for you, and it might mean, Gemini, that you found Aquarius season difficult, i.e. January, end of Jan to end of Feb. You've either found that difficult, or this next transit, this next season, Pisces season, you're going to find that difficult. And I mean that in an emotional sense, in a spiritual sense. I keep talking this year about our evolution, about as a species we're going to be evolving, and what I mean by that is we're going to be learning different aspects of ourselves. So I'm a this sign here, which means that it's specified by compassion and nurturing. But sometimes I have to be like this, and I find it hard. If someone, it's all right on here when I'm on a film, but in real life, if someone is judgmental, or if someone is whatever, something that sort of goes against that sort of compassion, instead of me calling that person out and saying, no, you're an idiot, or you're this, or you're that, and just saying it straight, which is what this person would do, and you need that, I would struggle in a way to handle that situation, because I wouldn't want to upset that person. I wouldn't want to. I'm learning this. I'm learning how to do this. And it's so, and that's what's giving me that balance. Excuse me. That's what gives me that balance, that strength, because I'm learning that you can't be all that all the time. Are you all right? You can't be that all the time. You can't. And you can't be this all the time, which is, this is A, B, C. It can't be straight lines all the time. Once you realize that and see that, you've got to learn that. That's what this time's teaching you. The things that you don't have, you're learning now. The things that I don't have, I'm learning now. And it's this that brings the stability, the clarity that we need to see. This brings the stability through for us, okay? This card also wants to come through with these two energies here, and that's the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, again, it's another queen. Queen's about the feminine. Queen's about the inner wisdom, the understanding. This is about confidence. This is the wand energy. It's about confidence. It's about force. In fact, you've got your three chakras, your three chakra 1, 2, 3 covered here. So you've got can you see these? So you've got your root chakra, which is at the base of your spine. You've got your sacral chakra, which is just below your belly button, 2 fingers, and below. And you've got your solar plexus, chakra number 3, which is just above your belly button. Now, all these three energies and these 3 chakras, if you will, these 3 areas of your body, that's basically how you interact with the world. The chakras is about interacting with the energies of the world, the people that we come across, the experiences that we have. They all have energy. They're all energy, and so are you. And the root chakra helps us feel grounded, helps us feel stable. The sacral chakra is about our intense joys and happiness, but also our intense experiences, our formative experiences, really, the things that we are drawn to instinctively, and the things that we are repelled by because of experiences that we have had in the past. That is what is covered by that energy. So this is where our confidence comes from. It should come from here. And our solar plexus, our 3rd chakra, is about expansion. It's the sun, so it's about awareness. So it's about knowing these 2 aspects of yourself, basically, in a nutshell. You've got all those 3 aspects covered. So it's a case of, this is a very spiritual reading for you. It's a very spiritual time for you. And I think that probably a lot of what I'm saying, you'll listen to it and it's probably going to go over your head. And in that, not like I'm speaking like a different language, but, or like I'm so clever. I don't mean it in that way. It's going to go over your head in that you're currently in such different energy right now. When you're watching this video in the first week, you're in such a confusing, challenging, a place where you're trying to work things out. You're in that place that this does not make any sense to you right now. You can't even, you don't get it. You don't get how you can go from where you're at now to here. You don't see it. You don't get it. You're like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to you. But just because it doesn't make sense doesn't mean it's not what's going to happen. And that's what you need to learn as an earth sign. I mean, I know that because I'm an earth sign. But, you know, logic is not king. Logic is just part of the spectrum of how we understand and how we interact. It's only a section of that. There's all these other ways that we understand and interact. So I suggest that you come back to this reading at the end of Feb, beginning of March, and re-watch this reading, because you're in a place right now where you're pretty shrouded. You can't see past the end of your nose almost. You can't see. This is like consuming all of your thoughts. You, as I said, it's whether it's a choice that you're making about a love situation or about a personal challenge that a personal spiritual challenge that you're trying to overcome. Whatever it is, it's completely consuming you right now, to the point where this is making no sense. But I promise you, when you come back to it, it will. Okay, you've got the Six of Cups next. So this is related to past life, past experiences, childhood, you know, things that you've missed and that you've lost and that you've forgotten, joys. You know, you used to love, you know, riding your bike, and you've not ridden a bike for years and years and years, but now you're out of this fog and confusion, and you see how to nurture yourself or what directions you want to go in. You are like, okay, let me get back to some of the things that I used to, let me get back to riding my bike because it did feel good. And so now I'm going to do that. And even though it doesn't make sense to you right now, this is a place that you're going to, you're evolving. It's actually quite as I said, for some of you, you'll find it an uncomfortable transition, just because it's such a vast difference from your usual approach to things. But it's Pisces season, so you're going to have to get fully engaged. You know, this is literally the meditation card. So we've got two, haven't we? We've got mindfulness, and we've got meditation, and we've got victory, and we've got, oh, nice. We've got this is mindfulness, this is meditation. Now, mindfulness is about being aware of what you are experiencing physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally in every given moment, in every moment of your life, in every moment that you live. That is how I attempt to live, and I'm sure many Reiki masters and tarot readers, I mean, maybe not actually, because not all tarot readers are light workers, not all Reiki masters are light workers. I don't really like the term light workers, but I suppose for shorthand, that's what I am. So I try to live in this way, and that's why I talk about experiencing the energies. I always have to be engaged, fully plugged in. Now, I can't tune out. I can't get drunk and forget and pretend I'm not, you know, I've got to be engaged with what I'm experiencing emotionally, physically, spiritually, in every single given moment, because that is how we learn to work through karma, okay? This is a meditation card. It's sword energy, your energy, you like that, her energy, you love that. It's number 4. 4s are about our foundations, the non-negotiables. What's at the base of it? This is what's at the base of your thoughts. That's why, sword energy. What's the base of your truths? That's why we call this card the meditation card. So yes, it encourages you to meditation means to reflect, to consider, and to think over. So that's what the word meditation means. If you follow me on Instagram, Key Wisdom Tarot, you will know that, okay? Because I do these posts. Read them. Go read my posts. So this is like you really having to get in touch with and engage with what are you now thinking? What Mercury retrograde might change things up for you. It might muddy the waters, if you will. The emotional waters within may become muddied, and you still have to be aware that that's happening. You have to live with that discomfort. And you have to then reflect on that discomfort. What does that discomfort show you? What does that reveal to you about yourself? You know, if I'm uncomfortable making this decision, but I go ahead and make the decision anyway, what's the motivation behind that? Is it because I didn't want to sit in the uncertainty? This is what the type of questions that you need to think about. Is it because when I was younger, I was forced always to, I could only ever have one choice, and so I'm going back to that, or whatever it is. So with this, even though it might be uncomfortable for you, it's a very spiritual time for you, actually, Gemini. And I really thank God the fog has cleared, because my brain at the start of this reading was like, oh my God, it was not a pleasant place, but I had to live with it. I had to go with it. Be mindful. But it wasn't a pleasant place to be, actually, because the energy, the it's a hard one to put on, because it's that thought of something's not right. Don't feel right. Something don't feel right. That doesn't mean that. What does that mean? But oh my God, how often have you felt that? Maybe not ever, maybe only now, maybe in Pisces season, it's the first time you're feeling that. But your mind, because you're feeling that way, you're trying to apply logic and it doesn't work. You have to apply mindfulness and meditation for your emotions. People think that our thoughts and our feelings come from the same place. If I say to you, how are you feeling today? You might say, I'm fine, I'm okay. But that, generally speaking, that thought comes from your head. Your feeling your feelings don't live in your brain. They live in your body. And you have to connect, and I could spend an hour explaining how to unlock that and how to connect with that. But it's too long. You know, I've been doing this 6 years, man. You just trust me when I say to you that your feelings and your thoughts come from a different place. Also, your voice, like what you say, doesn't come from your brain. You don't think in sentences in your head and then say it out loud. Or if you do, you shouldn't. Your voice comes from somewhere different. It doesn't come from the logic that we apply. And you think it does. You're sat there thinking, what's she on about? I always think before I speak. No, you don't. And if you do, you shouldn't. That's not where your voice comes from. Your voice doesn't. You don't need to think before you speak, but you think you do. You're sat there thinking, she's crazy, this girl. She's crazy. Like, of course you think before you speak. No, you don't. That's not where your voice comes from. That's not where your feelings come from. They're separate entities. They exist. They come from different places. But a lot of people, not people who meditate, not people who live mindfully, because we know, because we do it, we live it, we know. A lot of people think that my thoughts come from my brain. They do. And my feelings come from my brain. No, they don't. And my voice comes from my brain. No, it doesn't. So you have to start to listen to yourself. There's whatever this is, there's something that wants to come through that, you know, you are. I'm just going to pull one more card actually for that. You've just been feeling so, I don't know, not help, is it? You've been feeling so confused and so, recently something's not right, but you don't know what that something could be. Anything in your life as an individual, you know what that something is, but you've that feeling, that heaviness that has left you sort of almost isolated, as in you're in a room and everyone's speaking and you're there but you're not really there, and that's disorientating for you, for an earth sign such as yourself, Gemini. You've got to hang on in there, okay? Now, I've lost temperance. You had temperance on the bottom, didn't you? Anyway, so my darlings, I hope you liked that reading. I thought it was a very nice reading, challenging in the sense of emotionally. When we come into awareness, it can be quite emotionally challenging. But oh my gosh, so worth it, Gemini, okay? So if you like this video, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up. If you want to leave a comment, please do. I read every single comment. I will try to reply to every single comment, but I can't always. If you haven't already, please subscribe. You can click my little head there, and that you'll get notifications of all the uploads. It's free, so do it. Feel free to share the content. Feel free to share this video on your social media, on your Facebook, on your WhatsApp, with anyone you think it might be helpful to. Okay, you can also see the astrology below, the transits, the main transits coming up in the month of March. And check out the Key Wisdom playlist as well if you do want any more help or advice or instruction on mindfulness, on meditation, on compassion, etc. It's all in the Key Wisdom playlist. And finally, for those of you that wanting a personal reading, I've done a little video. I'll put the video out with these videos about personal readings. I have had to limit the appointments that I do each month just because it was getting a bit busy. But I'll do a little video and put all that information in there. So if you want a personal reading, you can watch that video and see if that's something that you want. Okay, my darlings, thank you so much for being here, Gemini. It's been emotional. I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks, and I'll see you all again next week with your love reading. Take care, my fabulous Geminis. Bye.